So what happens if a stockbroker doesn't exist anymore or shuts down? These are some of the questions that a lot of people have been asking about. Let me explain this. The short answer is your shares are going to be safe even if the stockbroker shuts down or doesn't exist anymore. You don't need to panic when you are investing with a licensed broker on the Ghana stock market. That is why I always advise you to check out on the Ghana Stock Exchange and the Security and Exchange Commission when you are trying to make any investment online, whether it's a broker or even an online app. You always need to make sure you are checking on the Security and Exchange Commission or the Ghana Stock Exchange to know this broker is licensed and their licenses are still legit. So whenever you invest with a broker, you don't actually give your shares to the broker, right? When you buy shares or when you buy stocks through a licensed broker in Ghana, like IC Securities, Blackstar, UMB Stockbroker, CSIC Brokers, and the rest, the broker just acts like a middleman, right? Helping you to buy or sell your shares. Whenever you buy shares, your shares doesn't sit in the broker's account. Instead, your shares are stored securely in something called Central Securities Depository. This is a national system run by the Ghana Stock Exchange to safely hold and record everyone's investments, and also think of the CSD as a digital vault that keeps track of your shares, who owns the shares, and how many shares you own. A CSD account is always going to be in your name. When you start investing through a broker, they open a CSD account in your name, right? This account is separate from the broker's business, the broker's account. Even if the broker collapses or shuts down, your CSD account stays intact. So whenever you are filling a form, mostly they ask you a lot of questions for them to get more information, your pictures, your signature, and the rest. They use all this to actually fill your CSD information so that you can have access to your account whenever they are even no more. So let's understand what will happen if the broker is no more again. So if your stockbroker stops operating due to maybe bankruptcy or any other reason, here are what usually happens. The Ghana Stock Exchange and the Security and Exchange Commission will step in to protect investors. You will always be able to transfer your CSD account to another active and licensed broker. All your stock holdings remain safe and no one can legally sell or tamper with them. You may need to complete some transfers, some forms. You need to fill some forms or provide some IDs to transfer your investment to a different broker. You won't lose your investment at all. Your investments are going to be intact. So what can you do to stay protected? When you are investing with a broker, here are some 3 steps to protect yourself and also feel more confident when you are investing in a licensed broker in Ghana here. Always make sure your CSD account is in your name. Make sure it is not under the broker's name or a pooled investment unless it's a mutual fund. Whenever you are buying stocks in Ghana here, all your investments will be under your CSD. The second thing you need to also do is to request your CSD statements regularly. You can ask your broker or go directly to the CSD and get statements for yourself to prove that all your holdings show your shares and also prove ownership. The third thing is to use licensed brokers only. Always work with stockbrokers which are registered with the Ghana Stock Exchange, the Security and Exchange Commission. These are the 2 bodies that regulate investments or brokers in Ghana here. You can check the list on their website. I'll put the link in the description below for you to check the licensed brokers on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that. Share to your friends and let them know how the investment works in Ghana here. See you in my next video.